Hey guys, it's me Stephanie, and I'm gonna have to speak really loud because there's a highway next to my house, and I like to film outside. Today's a different kind of video because I wanted to do something on something that I really love. I've loved it since I was little, and since I'm older, I've gotten more into it because there's more variety of these types of things. And these things that you may be asking are, what do I love? Oh, books. I love books. I'm going to talk about a few of my favorite ones. Some of them I don't have with me because I go back and forth for college too much and just things get misplaced or at different houses. So it's hard to keep up with them. One of the first ones I'm going to talk about is probably one of my top favorite books. And that would be Chbosky, I guess how you say it, is Perks of Being a Wallflower. Perks of Being a Wallflower is also a movie, but I like the book because it shows more of Charlie's mind and thoughts and everything. It doesn't really show you dialogue between characters because it's him literally writing letters to this person. A lot of my favorite quotes come from this book, like I'm both happy and sad and I'm still trying to figure that out. And in that moment we were all infinite. That is this book. And it is amazing. If you haven't read it, read it. And also, I also suggest the movie. The movie's pretty good too. This one is an old book. I've had it since I was probably around like 12. I bought it because the cover of the book looked really cool. It is by Maryrose. It is called Why I Let My Hair Grow Out. And this one has somewhat of a fantasy background to it. So basically this girl goes on a trip to like Ireland or something for a bike tour because her parents want her to go to it. But somehow when she's in Ireland on this bike tour, she travels back to like this old land back in like medieval time. It's a very interesting book. It's been so long since I've read it and I need to reread it. But I really think it's interesting. It's one of the very few fantasy books I really love. And since I'm talking about fantasy, I don't have the first book for this, but another fantasy collection that I really love is Leven, Thump. This is the third book. I don't have the first one, but the first one's Leven, Thump and the Gateway to Fu, I think. This one's in the Eyes of the Want. There are 4 books total, I think. I know one of them deals with Clover, which is this cute little thing right here. I don't know if you can see it. And he kind of guides Leven, who is the boy in the book, into the world of Fu. He runs into this girl named Winter. Winter's really cool. She has ice powers. They're trying to get this tree that eventually gets chopped down and turned into toothpicks. And so like 4th book's about a toothpick with the little frilly party things on top of his head. And he's the evil part of the tree, and they're trying to find him with the good part of the tree. It's very weird, but it's very entertaining. Shut up, cicadas! Some of my favorite books come from the anonymous author thing, where like it's basically like diaries of people. They're usually based on a teenager's point of view, so it's really easily connect with the character in the book. Lucy in the Skye is just about a teenager in California who has these friends, and they do bad things. They do drugs, they go to parties. And she just eventually stumbles down a very bad road where she does a drug that she doesn't know what it is and ends up being very addictive. I think it was either heroin or meth. And so you can tell where that story went. And another series that is fantasy. And that is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I am on the 3rd one. I didn't think I would like this book because it was children with like superpowers, I guess. It's a really good book, and the author is very good at like detailing things and just making you like glued to the pages. It's a page turner. Like you want to know what happens next. You don't want to put it down because you're like, holy cow, what the hell happened? For me, usually the second book's a book like in a series kind of let me down, and I stopped reading them after a little bit. But the second one, I read it in like 2 days. It was really good, and I really recommend it. 2 more favorite books that I do not have with me because they're misplaced or in another house or a box. I will put a picture of them, I guess, in my face or beside my face. Which I'm going to talk about the first one because the first one, I reread it just recently. And it's so good, even the second time I read it. And that would be 13 Reasons Why by J. Asher. It's about a girl who killed herself. Yes, it's very morbid, but it's a very good book. And before she killed herself, she made these cassette tapes and she had a map of like starred out things and 13 people who impacted her reason why she killed herself. Not necessarily blaming them, but kind of blaming them at the same time. And the main character, he wants to know why he's on her list, because he's like, I didn't do anything wrong to you. And the last time he talked to her, he really messed up and he felt really bad, and he's like, I wish I could redo it, basically. He really wishes that he could save her. And it's just really touching because it kind of shows you that even if you do little things, it impacts someone's life tremendously, even if you don't think it would. And it just really made me think about how I interact with other people and to be very careful. And since we're on a morbid topic, the last book I'm going to talk about, I'll put in a picture, is By the time you read this, I'll be dead. The way it ends, it's a cliffhanger. It doesn't tell you what happens. It's just ultimately for you to decide, does she do this or does that? It's about a girl who has like this thing around her neck because she can't talk, but eventually they tell you that she tried to slit her throat. So she wasn't successful in committing suicide, and she's just really sad with her life. Guy that lives in a house next to her school, he's very nice to her. She doesn't want to talk to him at first because obviously she can't talk. She's like, I'm a freak, so go away. But he's like really whimsical and very unique, and it gives her a different aspect on like how to look at life. And so you can see like her character start forming differently throughout the book, but I don't want to ruin it. It's a really good book. It sounds very morbid. It kind of is, but it's not at the same time, and it's just very heart-touching. Those are some of my favorite books. If you have any favorite books, leave them in the comments. I'm always open to new suggestions and new things that I haven't seen or have seen but wasn't sure about them. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want. You can even blow this up, and I don't know how you would do that, but do it. But ultimately, stay awesome, stay strange, and stay beautiful. And I'll see you guys later. Bye! What's bothering me is just when you have a lack of motivation and you hear constant negative things around you, it really builds up.